YouTube is not banning AI channels. They are, however, demonetizing channels that match a specific filter. It's as simple as if your channel matches that filter, then your channel's at risk. I've worked on and reviewed a ton of AI channels, and at this point it takes me less than 10 seconds to see if a channel is built to pass. I just had some of my channels flagged and demonetized, and I'm now making a complete switch to prevent this from happening again. Now, I'm gonna show you exactly what YouTube looks for when they flag a channel. I'm even gonna give you a full breakdown of one of my channels that got flagged and why. And I'm even gonna rebuild this channel from scratch using AI to make sure that I don't get it demonetized again. Here's just one channel I ran that got hit with demonetization. If I go over to the revenue tab, you can see that it got demonetized on January 14th. And I don't really care too much because if I sort by lifetime, you can see that this channel I was running in like August of 2024. I think my last upload, it was in October of 2024. But I like showing this channel because look, randomly, like even over a year later, this channel randomly started making like $500 a month for like 3-4 months in a row, even though I stopped running it. And even though I wasn't actively uploading on this channel, it got demonetized, right? If I go to the Earn tab, it says I got demonetized for reused content. And it's interesting because I still have a channel like this, Sleepless Crime, that makes like $100 a month. I'm not even uploading on it. As you can see, last time I uploaded was September 12th. But really, I stopped uploading in July, as you can see here. And it's still making a few hundred a month, but this channel is still monetized to this day, which goes to show that YouTube does not care about AI content. They're looking at other things. And what you're gonna learn throughout this video is that AI content is not what's getting demonetized. It's more so that content that gets demonetized is just easier to make with AI. And this is causing a huge misconception in the community. And if you don't believe that or you are not so sure, trust me, by the end of this video, this will change your outlook on everything YouTube-wise. But long story short, I had 12 channels terminated and then 1 channel demonetized. The 12 that got terminated, all terminated because they were like linked to the one that got terminated. And pretty much I lost around $70,000 USD per month in revenue because of that. So I got hit pretty hard with this. I want to show off a student's channel now, and I helped this student monetize this channel. Now, if we sort by the last 365 days, this is pretty much an AI storytelling niche that just, it's boring history. You've probably seen this channel. And as you can see, at its peak, it was doing over $2,000 per day. Look at this. If I scroll, it's like almost 2K every single day for quite some time. And in the span of what? From May to 2025 to December 2025, this is around 6 months. It made $170,000. And as you can see, at its end, it was still making like $400 a day. And then boom, demonetized. Now, after reviewing all of my own channels that got demonetized and communicating with other people, I even recently sponsored an event in Dubai, the 1 Billion Follower Summit, and there I talked to people working at YouTube and talked to people working at companies that were partnered with YouTube. So not only do I have personal experience, connections that have had experience, and I've talked to pretty much YouTube's internal team. So I have some pretty good insights. I'm honestly pretty confident there are not many people on the internet right now that have more insight on this than I do. Not to say everything I'm gonna say is absolutely correct, but I just wanna give myself some credibility that this is not just random stuff I'm coming up with. Now, to address the main thing everybody is worried about is the question, does AI demonetize content? As far as we know right now, AI scripts do not necessarily demonetize content. This one, I would say, isn't for sure proven. This one is more so based on just the channels that have been demonetized. A lot of them are still monetized using AI scripts. It's definitely possible, but I don't think this is the reason as to why channels are getting demonetized at all. One that for sure is not demonetizing channels is AI voiceovers. AI voiceovers are totally fine. I saw some people saying you need to use like original AI voiceovers or like AI voice clones to get away with it. Like, it's completely fine. Now, everything else AI is completely fine from what we've seen. AI animations, AI images, AI avatars. So what is actually demonetizing these channels? Well, there's a number of things that can demonetize your channel, of course. But in these big demonetization ways with like inauthentic content, reused content, all of this type of stuff, is we're seeing 3 main factors that are causing demonetization. And I wanted to highlight boring history specifically because this channel actually had all 3 of these features. Number 1 is having thumbnails that are pretty much repeating themselves, right? So an example would be, right, if you have every single thumbnail saying boring history or calm history at the top left corner, and then just like a woman character or a character, and then the character just switching up every scene, then that could get demonetized. Pretty much having thumbnails that almost all of them look exactly the same. Now, if we scroll down, look at this thumbnail, then this one, you can see it's the text at the top left, then you have this, a person down here, the subject down here. And yes, if you really analyze all of them, you could say, okay, they're a little bit different, right? But just to show you, if I just scroll, right? If I just kind of like scroll here, like very slowly, very quickly, either way, you can see what I mean. These are almost all the same. So as long, like you could use, thumbnail formulas, like thumbnails that work and keep the same style. But this almost looks like the same thumbnail every time. And the only differentiating part is the AI prompt, but like regenerated different, right? Because of course, if you use the same AI prompt 10 times, you're gonna get 10 different results. And this is what I mean. All of these just look extremely similar, as if almost it could have been the same prompt, just giving a different output. So that's number one, the reuse thumbnails. Number two is with your titles, actually. That's going to be the reusing titles a bunch, right? So reusing words, reusing phrases. So in this case, a lot of these videos have fall asleep to, fall asleep to, fall asleep to, fall asleep to. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are channels that do explained in minutes, stuff like that. Those are totally fine because everything's an entirely different topic, right? But in this case, we have fall asleep to the entire history of, fall asleep to the entire history of. So it's pretty much it's much too similar. And then I think even in like a lot of these videos, it even says boring history for sleep. So in like, I think we stopped doing that in these newer videos. But if I go by most popular, you can see it says boring history for sleep in all of these titles. And then number three, the third thing that this channel also has is pretty much AI images, but not in the sense that you might think. To clarify, AI and AI images are totally fine to use in your videos, but not by making your video essentially a slideshow. Even if you add transitions and this little flaming effect and whatnot, that doesn't do anything. YouTube doesn't want to be Google Slides. They don't want to be a slideshow. They want videos. So by making a 2-hour-long video where it's just 5-minute long images that are just like slowly zooming in and panning left and right, that's the issue. So you can use AI images in your videos as long as the image is only playing for like 10 seconds and as long as it's not the whole video. Even if you did a 2-hour-long video, but every single part of the video is just 10 seconds of AI image, pretty much like a slideshow, then that won't cut it. But if you're doing like a 10-second AI image, like once every 30, 40 seconds, once every 2 minutes, like pretty much sprinkling it in there and like maxing it. I'm not saying 10 seconds is the max, but I wouldn't mess around with doing like multiple minutes of AI images. But pretty much making a slideshow. You do not want a majority of your video to be images. It doesn't have to be AI images. This would be the same case if they were just normal images. But this ties back to what I said. Using AI just makes it easier to make a slideshow of images because you can just mass generate AI images a lot easier than finding a bunch of images, right? If this 2-hour-long video had 500 AI images, with AI you could, in a snap of a finger, generate all of them. But imagine going out of your way and finding on Google copyright-free stock footage art that follows your script for 500. That would take several days, right? So that's why using AI makes it easier and causes the misconception of AI gets demonetized. Just to even further my point, at the event I went to in Dubai that YouTube themselves sponsored and YouTube's team was there, they even had an AI section in their YouTube booth that was titled YouTube AI, and in the booth, they even had a creative challenge of who can make the best AI video. You submit and you win some sort of prize, right? So not only is YouTube owned by Google, which is one of the largest investors in AI in the world, but on top of that, they're sponsoring events and pretty much trying to get people to use AI to make content. But yeah, images and just having stagnant images is the third issue. Nothing to do with AI images, just images in general. As long as a majority of your video is not images and the images aren't too long when they do play, then I still think images are fine, right? If it's only like 20% of the video and when they do play, they're like maximum 10 to 30 seconds long, I think that is fine. Now, those are the three main things. And the thing is, Boring History has all three. They have the repeating titles, the repeating thumbnails, and the slideshow videos. And this is the channel I want to recreate because the sleep niche is dying because of this whole inauthentic content wave. So I want to recreate this channel pretty much on a new channel and show you guys how I'm going to do that and make it demonetization proof later in the video. But I want to go over a lot more on how to avoid this stuff because a lot of people are getting hit with this. A lot of people are scared, and I want to make sure this video clears it up for everybody. And I want to once again preface, I don't know absolutely everything. Most of what I'm saying I have some backing to, and I will say when some of the stuff is more so speculation, right? Another thing I noticed as well, which I don't think is necessarily an issue, but the thing is that YouTube pretty much calculates how much you are uploading per month or per day or per week, however you want to describe it. But let's say on the per month basis, they're pretty much looking how much you upload. And I'm not talking about they look, okay, you're uploading every single day, but they're minute-long videos. No, they look at, how much time is on your channel, meaning if I upload a 1 hour long video every single day, that means that I have 30 hours of videos on my YouTube channel within that month. But if I upload a 1 minute long video every single day, that's still 30 uploads, but that's only 30 minutes versus 30 hours. And it seems that there's a pattern of the channels that have much more content time on their channel every month. Those channels are much more quickly to be hit with inauthentic content or spam. So it doesn't seem like that's necessarily the reason why they get hit, but it seems like the more content you have in your channel in terms of length over the course of a month, the more likely it is for YouTube to actually even review your channel, right? So I think the channels that aren't getting hit are shorter, and the reason isn't because their content's all fine. It's more so the fact that their content just isn't even being reviewed by YouTube's team. And when I say YouTube's team, at this point it's AI, but of course the AI is not going to go through every single YouTube channel. It's just going to go over the ones that get flagged. So this is something that might raise, to the YouTube's AI, say, hey, review this channel. So I think that's definitely something to keep in mind that could potentially trigger your channel to get a review. I don't think that's necessarily what's demonetizing people, because if you're uploading 2 hour long videos every day, but they're like vlogs or something, I think that's totally fine. Now, all we have to do is actually go to the Boring History channel and copy and paste the URL. Then we go over to TubeGen, which is pretty much the platform that the Boring History channel was originally created on. And now with the new updates, we're pretty much making it so that this channel is demonetization proof, or at least that's the goal, right? So we're going to go to the Styles tab, press Create New Style, and then we're going to put our style name. Could be anything like Boring History, and we can manually upload reference videos to train TubeGen scriptwriter to write the scripts in the same style. Now, in easier ways, you can actually go to TubeGen's niche finder, which in here you have ultra advanced filters to help you do niche research. You can do similar channels and a bunch of research in here, but you can also paste that URL, and as you can see, Boring History pops up, and now all we have to do is actually press Copy Style, and this is going to create the style for us. So you can do it either way. I just wanted to show you guys either way. Now what this did, if we press on a review, it actually took Boring History's 2 best performing recent videos, aka outlier videos. It selected the default word count, it selected the language, it even named it Boring History, and it even chooses the AI voice that sounds most similar to the voice on the video. So this is the voice of Frederick, which is actually the same voice that Boring History uses. So TubeGen was able to figure that out, and because this voice is in TubeGen, it automatically picked it. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to create an avatar. Now, I need an avatar that sounds like Frederick, right? So let's take a listen to Frederick and try and come up with something that would look like the voice of Frederick.
And here we have a calm, well-spoken narrator.
So we're just going to name the avatar Boring History, and this avatar is going to be a human, right? You could actually upload a photo of yourself, but in this case, we want to generate one since we don't have an actual person we're using. Technically, you could use somebody else, but I'm telling you now, I would not do this. I would not use a famous person or somebody that do not have permission to do, because that can cause legal issues, let alone getting demonetized on YouTube. So let's create an AI person that doesn't actually exist. So pretty much I just wrote a description about a middle-aged British man, blah, blah, blah. And now we're just going to press generate avatar and see if this is what we want. Keep in mind, I could also go on Google Images or literally generate an avatar anywhere else. But because there's an avatar generator in TubeGen, I might as well use it. Now here's the avatar that was created. This looks fine with me. Now we're going to actually create the video. So you can press create video right here. Then you could either create your style in here, or choose your style, which is boring history. So we just press it. Now this is going to use the trained scripts based on the transcripts of boring history, and we can even generate a title just using the style, and it's going to read all of the video titles on that YouTube channel, and it'll come up with a title for us. Now let's do like why punishments were horrific in Victorian prisons, use title, and in this case we're going to take out the boring history for sleep because we do not want to include that in our title, right? The idea is to remove that. So we're just going to do this and then press generate and then generate our script. Now, TubeGen writes on average at around 50 to 70 words per second. So every 2 seconds is going to be 100 words. So for 20,000 words, this is going to take a little bit of time, maybe like 10 minutes. But as the script is being generated, the cool thing is you can generate the title, script, description, voiceover, all these things, and you can do them either individually or like in order, right? So as the script is being generated, we can actually go to the description and generate the description right here. As we're generating the description, you can even make your thumbnail in here. So let's go ahead and even create a thumbnail. Now, one thing is for the thumbnail, the whole point of TubeGen's thumbnail design is to take another channel's thumbnail. You can either paste in the URL or upload an image, and you pretty much write a description of what you want to change. Like if you have 2 men, you could say make one of the men a woman, change like their shirt color, change the text, change the background. And this works a lot of the time if you're copying a channel, but considering we want to make our channel demonetization proof, we don't want the thumbnails to be like the thumbnails on the previous channel. So I actually need to make a thumbnail from scratch. So in this case, I'm not going to use TubeGen's thumbnail generator, and I'm going to use just like Nano Banana Pro to create something original. Now inside of Google Gemini, I'm just going to use Nano Banana Pro, and I'm going to put in a prompt I just created. And now here's the image created, so I'm just going to download it. Now we just put this in. I'm going to crop it a little bit as well. That way everything in the scene's a little bit bigger. And then we can also get the Nano Banana watermark removed out of there. I think this looks a lot better now. And we're just going to simply use this for our thumbnail. And now that I'm done with this, the script should already almost be done. All right, we are now back. And as you can see, TubeGen has this green completed mark, meaning our script is actually done. Of course, we already have the description. Now we go over to the voiceover. Keep in mind, like I said, you could use all of these features standalone. So you could actually upload your own voiceover, go straight to visuals. In this case, it says show script. So if I press it, here's our script. But if we actually didn't generate a script here, TubeGen would know that and ask you to paste in your script. So if you had your own script written somewhere else, then you could paste that in. But simply all you do is press generate. Now this is partnered with 11 Labs. So now we got our 167-minute long video, which to translate, that is 2 hours and 47 minutes long. Let's listen to the first little bit so you can get an idea as to what this actually sounds like reading the script with an AI voice.
The smell hit you first, not the dampness of stone walls or the metallic tang of iron bars.
So there you go, sounds pretty good. Sounds like a voice that would definitely read you to sleep. I know it talks a little bit slow, but that's actually done on purpose because, the viewers are trying to sleep to this. Next, we go over to the visuals tab, and same kind of thing. You could actually upload your own voice over here, but because we generated one in TubeGen, it automatically selects this. Now, here's where things get pretty cool. Normally, you would just select how many images you want and press generate prompts, but now the method is to go into basic mode, switch from basic to advanced mode. And we have this advanced mode where we have a timeline here, and all of these little bars are sections that TubeGen pretty much is saying these are natural breaking points, right? So what I want to do is I want to go to the 30-second mark, and I'm going to make a split right here. So the first 30 seconds, we can choose for it to be images, right? And you could choose the image quality. You could actually animate this segment. You could choose it to be B-roll. You could even choose it to be B-roll plus images. And if you don't know what B-roll is, it's pretty much just real stock footage video that goes along with your script. So what I want to do is I want to use my avatar for the first 30 seconds so that if YouTube reviews this video, they see, oh, it's just some guy talking and reading a bedtime story. That's totally fine, right? So the first 30 seconds, that's going to be avatars. Then I'm going to go all the way until the 8-minute mark. And just before 8 minutes, we'll do like 7:55. We're going to make a split right here. And we're going to do B-roll plus images because I don't want just still images throughout my video. I want like it to mix randomly images and B-roll. Now the image quality, I'm going to select turbo because I don't really care about the image quality. I just want it to be the cheapest, right? First thing I want to do is I want to choose style as well. So with boring history, we do oil painting. Then we go here, we do B-roll plus turbo. And you could do, for example, 10 B-roll for every 1 image, or you could do it back. So it's pretty much a ratio. Like if it's 1:1, it's going to play 1 image, then do 1 B-roll video, right? Now, throughout the video, I want the pacing of the images to get slower. So in the beginning, it's going to be pretty quick. So I want the ratio to be higher here, or actually lower, sorry. So we'll do like 1:6 ratio, right? And the cool thing is that you'll see once I make this entire template, we only ever have to do it once because we can save it. So once I set up this advanced mode, we can save what we did. Anyways, as I was showing you guys, you can pretty much make splits wherever you want. And in these segments, you can make it so the pacing of the images is one image every 112 seconds, or one every 20 seconds, or one every 4 seconds. Or you can make it B-roll, or B-roll and image ratio, or you can make it the avatar, or you can make an image, and then with the image, you can choose which side, like the quality, right? Do you want it to be great, standard, turbo, ideogram, or even Nano Banana Pro is an option here. And as I said, right, you can press the save as template button. Now, I actually already have a template for these boring history style videos, so I'm just going to press on it. And as you can see, I have a pretty complex template that I've set up. So now that we have everything set up exactly how we want it to be, this is pretty much just gonna be a mix of the avatar, the B-roll, the images, right? So now we're gonna press on generate 492 prompts right here, and we're gonna press on continue. As you can see here, pretty much now we have all the scenes, including the talking avatars, we have B-roll, we have images. So it looks pretty good, looks like a real person talking. It even tells you this is scene 1, it's from 0 seconds to 15.68. Here's the part of the script it's using, and here's what it's showing. You can even reanimate it if you want to. And when you scroll down, for example, with the B-roll, you can choose which B-roll you want to use down here out of a bunch of options, and it chooses one automatically for you. It tells you this is scene 5 from 31.23 to 33.75. Here's the part of the script it's using. And then if you'll look, remember we did some ratio of like 5 to 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images, and then boom, another B-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images, another B-roll. And then this switches out throughout the video. I think, you know, I messed around with it. I did like 1 and 5 with longer images, and then it goes back into an avatar at like the 10-minute mark, and then it ends off at the very end with an avatar as well. And as you can see, there's a ton of scenes here. And overall, this video costed somewhere between 10 and 15,000 credits to make. And all we have to do is press render video to actually get this video. Now we actually get a folder of everything, including all of the images, the script, the timestamps, a bunch of stuff. But all we really need is this render video section and the audio. So let's take this audio, drag it into any editor. You can use CapCut, Premiere Pro. Now TubeGen actually has a built-in editor inside of the platform, but it only works up, with videos up to 20 minutes because rendering a video takes a lot of time. So if you're making like animation videos, because yes, you can make like 2D animated videos, 3D rendered, fern style videos, you can pretty much make anything with TubeGen. And if it's less than 20 minutes at the moment, you can render that in the editor. But because this is like almost 3 hours, you can't. So then we go to rendered videos, and this is gonna have the images rendered into videos. So yes, they might have been 30-second long images, but it turns them into videos and keeps them at that length. So now we can drag this in, as you can see. And you can see this is timed exactly to the end of the voiceover. And I'm not even gonna do anything. All I'm using Premiere for is literally to just put the video together and just export it. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just use an age channel. So I have this old monetized channel where I just posted like Britain news. As you can see, it's completely dead. I don't use it. It's made 12 cents. Like it literally died right after I made it. It started off like making 50 a day and then just died out of nowhere, as you can see. Which is pretty unfortunate, but now we just have this like monetized channel that's dead. So I might as well use it because I'm not using it for anything. Of course, I could start on a brand new channel, but this is just gonna help a little bit because it's aged. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all and I'm going to unlist all of my videos. So we're gonna go to visibility and we're gonna unlist it. Keep in mind, like I said, you don't need to do this. You can use a brand new channel. Even like the Boring History channel was originally made with TubeGen, like I said, and that was a brand new channel. But like I said, I just have this channel and I'm just gonna be transparent on everything I'm doing here. So I just unlisted all of the videos here. And now I'm gonna go to the customization and change some things around. I'm even gonna change the picture to our character that we just made. And I'm gonna make this like a kind of branded channel, if that makes sense. So it really doesn't matter what the banner is. So we'll keep the banner as is. So we'll call our character Dan. We'll do Dan's history stories. So pretty much here, I just wrote some random stuff like, hi, my name is Dan. I tell history stories for people on YouTube. I'm 54 years old, live my life in the UK. I'm living in the US, you know, consider subscribing. Just some random stuff like that. And then we're gonna save these changes because I wanna kind of make this branded. Now I'm also gonna go back to TubeGen and we're gonna create a new video here. In this case, we'll just use the same style. But now I'm gonna go over to the voiceover and I'm gonna paste in a script instead. And we're gonna do something very short, like, hi, I'm Dan, I'm a 54-year-old, blah, 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 just for like a channel intro. I'm trying to make this channel like a personal brand, if that makes sense. I don't know if this is absolutely necessary, but we're trying to go above and beyond with the profile picture, channel description, and we're making a channel intro. So here it is, 27 seconds. Then we go over to the visuals. We go to advanced mode, and now we're just gonna have the whole thing set to an avatar. Then we're going to generate the 4 prompts and then continue. And just like that, we already have this set up. So now all we have to do is press animate all avatars, animate all. And now in this case, we can actually go over to the video editor because this is a 26-second video. And in this case, it's just gonna be the talking head video. And then all we gotta do here is press the export video button, which is right here. And now, as you can see, we have the channel set up. We have the channel trailer, which I set as the channel trailer by going into customization and going to the home tab. I set this here. Now, as you can see in the content tab, we have the why punishments were horrific in Victorian prisons. We have the video set up. Now, all we have to do is see if this will work and see if we can actually keep our channel monetized by making this personally branded. And if you're interested in working directly with me one-on-one and maybe even being like one of my students and making up to $70,000 in a month with a channel like Boring History, then press the link in the description to apply to work with me.
All right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMMShiba and SMM are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says you from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.